great impact. Particularly, it exposed me to astronomy research in particular. The conferences help getting to know what other students and other researchers are doing within the country and also abroad. It also allowed me to work with different researchers from all around, experts in their field. The research environment, again, here at the University of the Western Cape, where you're actually working with expert scientists who are interested in essentially unpacking these questions about the universe and helping you essentially go through what you need to answer with respect to your research. So the environment, the exposure, it was quite important. It shaped the research very, very well. Okay, so with SARAO, so as I mentioned before, I was funded with my undergraduate degree by SARAO, and then I went on to do an honors degree at the National Astrophysics and Space Science program. From there, I then came back to do a master's. After my master's, I did a stint at SARAO as a telescope operator, where I actually got now to actually play around and actually work with the telescope itself, understanding the whole scientific process, and basically you be as the telescope operator being the one who performs the experiment, making sure that actually the scientists get a good data product out of those observations. The exposure to the site itself, what we needed to do. So it really shaped me in a way in understanding why the research that we are doing is important, and therefore allowed me to, particularly in my research, because what we do is I focus basically on how the telescope captures the signal, and whether, if there are systematics between the primary and the secondary dish, how could those essentially affect the cosmological analysis. So in terms of the exposure, but also the having to work with the instrument, it allowed me to better understand the research that I was doing. Any specific projects? Basically, I think one of them would be the PhD research that I was doing. It's garnered quite a lot of excitement around researchers. Its citations are, I think, around the 40s to 50s at the moment, and people are actually interested in the kind of science that we are doing. I'm also involved in undergraduate astronomy teaching, and so it's always good to also share my expertise and my knowledge to the undergraduates and help us and assist essentially grooming the next generation of scientists. I think one of the important one would be its impact on the people, giving the people a chance. We've got lots of talent in South Africa, both coming from, particularly those coming from underprivileged backgrounds. And so having SARAO and the way in which the bursaries are distributed, how people, it gave people a chance who would not ordinarily be part of huge programs or scientific projects such as the SKA or the SKO. And so having it around, you have many people who are now scientists who would not necessarily have become scientists or astronomers if SARAO did not have this HCT program. Please join. It's always good to have people who you essentially grew up with. Particularly, this would be most people that will join are those people who've been essentially interacting in the end of year conferences. So it would be good to keep those relationships alive, even if you are not in astronomy anymore. So please join. I think there's lots of work that still needs to be done. Essentially, I think having the Meerkat, having the SKO here in South Africa, it gives a big opportunity to us to actually change the landscape, primarily for future students, And so having a cohort of people who've been through the program, who will also act as mentors to those young scientists, will help them better navigate their studies and also their careers within astronomy. And also they will be able to get some advice in terms of how to bridge if you want making the transition from astronomy to industry.